Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Intentional Favour and you're welcome to another IELTS Clinic. So guys, in today's video, we'll be looking at a type of question to expect in the IELTS listening test. There are several question types in the IELTS listening test. We have the sentence completion, we have the form completion, table completion, summary completion, we have diagram labeling, it can be a flowchart completion. We also have the one that I'll be looking at today, which is the multiple choice question. Yes, the multiple choice question is actually the most difficult among these types of questions, and that's why I'm filming it in a separate video. So we'll be looking at it in this video, the multiple choice question. I'll be giving you all the strategies, all the tips that you need for you to tackle any question that has to do with multiple choice question. And later on in this video also, I'll be playing a clip, an IELTS listening test, and we're going to do it together, and we're going to apply all the tricks, all the strategies and the tips I'll be sharing to answer those questions. The multiple choice question in the IELTS listening test can come in two types. The first is the popular one, which whenever we hear multiple choice question, that is what comes to mind. You'll be given a question, then you'll be given like 3 or 4 options to choose a correct answer from. That is the popular multiple choice question we know. But the second one is like the most difficult, that makes multiple choice question quite difficult, and that is list selection. So in that one, it will come like, it will not just be, it will be a question, one question, but it answers about 3 or 4 questions. I don't know if that makes sense. All right, we'll be looking at a clip. I'm going to give us an example. So in that list selection, 2 or more questions will be together with just a question. So you'll be told like, this is question 17 to 20, and then you'll be asked a question. Then you have to select from the list given to you. You have to select 4 correct answers from that list. That is what this list selection is all about, and that, like I said, it's the most difficult. And we'll be looking at example. I believe that with example it's going to be clearer. At the end of the day, I'll also be giving tips and some strategies that will help you to find this difficult part of the IELTS test simple. Yeah, it's difficult, but that doesn't mean that it cannot be surmounted. Yes, it can be made easier. So keep listening. Another thing that makes the multiple choice question the most difficult one is that sometimes it might involve the choice of a person's name. Especially, it's more difficult, especially in the section 3, where you have 3 or more speakers, different people talking. I've said all that in the first video I did on the listening test. If you've not seen that video, I'll leave the link in the description box, so check out for that video. So the section 3, where you have about 3 to 4 speakers talking, so sometimes all you might need in the multiple choice question is for you to link the name of the person to the information, and that can be difficult and can be quite tricky. So since the list selection is like the most difficult multiple choice question you can see in the IELTS listening test, we are going to be looking at some tips and strategies that will help you to find it easy. Yes, it's difficult, but it can be easy. So the first thing I would say is that you should look for a title. Now, most times when they give you the list selection question, you find out that it has a title. Not all of them do, but I can say that most of them do. So what that title will do for you is that it's going to give you an insight. So when you hear an excursion, a trip, or maybe a museum, it gives you an insight. To an extent, it prepares your mind. Your brain is ready for what to expect. Okay, this is about a tour, this is about a trip, this is about an excursion. Try and look for a title. Like I said in a previous video also, try and read the question. You'll be given time to look at the questions. IELTS always does that. When you read that question, I would advise look for keywords. And another thing that is very important if you are writing your IELTS, both for reading, both for listening, your writing and all, one skill that you need to have is paraphrasing skill. You need to know how to paraphrase sentences, and also your vocabulary has to be very good. You need to know maybe the synonyms of words. It helps because sometimes even in the listening test, they might the speaker might be saying something, but the question can be paraphrased. The answer can be a paraphrase. So it's not like exactly the way the speaker said it outrightly in a sentence. That is how you are going to see it in the question. No. So that's why you need to know how to paraphrase words, how to paraphrase sentences rather, and also your vocabulary. So start now to make list of words, like especially synonyms. So there are some words it will help you. So when you read the question, it's just one question, but you select from the list to answer about 3 to 4 questions. So when you read that question, look for a keyword. What are they looking for? Sometimes you should just, circle it. Okay, this is what I should be watching out for. Most of them from the list, they might be something that you should, or something that you shouldn't, or what are recommended, like what is recommended for the students to take with them to the trip. You understand? So when I say, okay, what is recommended? That's like a keyword, right? Recommended. So what other word can you use to replace recommended? Because when you'll be listening to the audio, you might not hear the word recommended. Yes, you might not hear it. But without recommended, do you know what recommend means? Do you know what it means to recommend something? So that's very important. So if you understand, that is the key word, for instance, in that question. So note it, and you know that what you are looking for are the things that are recommended. Now, a trick, I said it in my previous video, IELTS, they are good at playing tricks because it's an English test, so they want to test you really. So sometimes the options, the list that you'll be given to choose from, you will find out that the speaker will mention almost every word. All the options will be mentioned. We'll be looking at that when we play the video. So watch out for that trick. So when you are answering, so when the speaker says a word and it's in the option, that doesn't mean it is right. So all you can do, maybe you can give a small tick, or circle that word. Okay, it's there, but keep listening because the speaker might remove it eventually. Yes, sometimes we get things like, okay, maybe if they are going for a trip and they ask you what are the things recommended that the students should take with them to the trip. So you might hear the speaker say, usually you are advised to take a pen with you, but that will not be necessary because we'll be providing you with one. That tells you, yeah, they said that, yeah, usually you should take a pen, and you will see pen or pencil in the option and you select it. Listen, continue listening. Now the speaker went on to say, but you don't need to have that because we will provide you with one. So that means that is not an answer. So they will mention it. So most times when the speaker is talking, all the options you see there, the speaker will definitely mention all of them, but that doesn't mean they are right. That's why you need to listen attentively and make sure that you know the meaning of words. So read the question and try to find a keyword, and also know the synonyms. What other words can be used in place of that particular word? It is very, very important. Also, I said in a previous video that the good thing about IELTS listening test is that the questions come in order. Yes, the questions come in order, but when it comes to this list selection, this multiple choice question, the answers don't come in order. So they might mention anything at the same time. Maybe it might even be the last option that might be mentioned first. Yes, the last option might be mentioned first as an answer to the question you are answering. So watch out for that. And the last thing I also want to say is this: your answers in multiple choice question has to be in letters, not the words. So you'll be given option A, maybe book, option B, garden, option C, pencil, something like that. So if you read the question and the answer is garden, and garden is option B, your answer should be letter B. Don't write garden. If you write garden, you got that question wrong. A multiple choice question in the IELTS listening test, even it applies to reading too. Any multiple choice question that you are given options, you are expected to write the letter, not the word. It's even said, that's why I said in my previous video, listen to your instructions, read your instructions carefully and follow it strictly. So guys, haven't gotten this far, I think it's time for us to go into the practicality of what we have just said. So I'll be playing a clip, an IELTS listening test, and because this particular video is for the multiple choice question, so I'll be playing a clip that that has to do with the multiple choice question. And like I said, there are two types of them. The first one, which is the general one, then the list selection. So I'm just going to play a clip that will address some of the things I've said. So I would suggest that while the clip is playing, of course, you'll be hearing the clip and the answer will be on the screen. Yes, the answer will be on the screen. So try as much as possible to listen and answer the question. Test yourself this time around. At the end of the video, we are going to answer the questions and identify the tricks in the video, in the audio.
Section 1. You will hear a conversation between two friends called George and Nina about a summer music festival. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 and 2. You will see that there is an example that has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first. Hi, George. Glad you're back. Loads of people have phoned you.
Really?
I felt just like your secretary.
Sorry. I went into the library this afternoon to have a look at a newspaper and I came across something really interesting.
What? A book?
No, a brochure from a summer festival, mainly Spanish music. Look, I've got it here.
George says that he found a brochure from a festival, so B has been circled as the answer. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 and 2. Hi, George. Glad you're back. Loads of people have phoned you.
Really?
I felt just like your secretary.
Sorry. I went into the library this afternoon to have a look at a newspaper and I came across something really interesting.
What? A book?
No, a brochure from a summer festival, mainly Spanish music. Look, I've got it here.
Spanish music? I really love the guitar. Let's have a look. So what's this group, Guittarini?
They're really good. They had a video with all the highlights of the festival at a stand in the lobby to the library, so I heard them. They play fantastic instruments, drums and flutes and old kinds of guitars. I've never heard anything like it before.
Sounds great.
Okay, shall we go then? Spoil ourselves?
Yes, let's.
The only problem is there aren't any cheap seats. It's all one price.
Well, in that case, we could sit right at the front. We'd have a really good view.
Yeah, though I think that if you sit at the back, you can actually hear the whole thing better.
Yes. Anyway, we can decide when we get there.
So guys, how did you do? Did you get the whole questions correct? Now let's review. Now, if you listened very well, you can see that even in the example they gave us, there was a trick. Can you see that all the options were mentioned by the speakers? George said, I went to the library to look at a newspaper. Then I found something interesting. So if you are listening and say, oh, George, in the library, George found dash. That's the question, right? And George said, I went to the library to look at a newspaper. Oh, you will just say it's a newspaper. No, keep listening. Remember, I keep saying that. So, and then the friend said a book. Oh, someone can say, oh, it's a book. But listen, George now gave an answer. I said, no, it's a brochure. That tells us the answer is brochure. So you can see that the three options there were mentioned by the speakers, but you need to be careful so that you select the right. If only you listened once and you heard that George went to the library to look at a newspaper, and you say newspaper is the answer, you are wrong, because at the end of the day, he changed it and told his friend what he actually saw, which is option B. So the correct answer is what? Option B. Remember, if you write a brochure, you will be wrong. So the answer is B. Now let's go to the main question that we answered. How well did you do? So the first question says that in the lobby of the library, George saw what? This is quite tricky. If you didn't listen well, I'm sure you will miss it. Yes, if you didn't listen well, because if you listened well, you hear where George said that he mentioned the answer before indicating where he saw it. I don't know if that makes sense. So George said that that they had a video with all the highlights of the festival at the stand in the lobby of the library. So, you are looking for lobby, right? So lobby came after the answer. So he already mentioned the answer, that they had a video with all the highlights of the festival at the stand in the lobby of the library. So if you are only looking for lobby and now you hear lobby, then if you didn't listen well, you would have missed the fact that he said that they had a video, which makes option C the answer. So after mentioning that they had it at the stand in the lobby of the library, the next thing George said was they play fantastic instrument, and all that. So you might now be tempted to say, oh, a display of instruments. He even said they play fantastic, they play. So you can now be like, oh, it's a display of instruments. So you need to pay attention. I don't know if that makes sense to you. So the answer came before telling us the location. But we now said, in the lobby of the library, George saw, what did he see? So he already told her that they had a video with all the highlights of the festival at the stand in the lobby. So if you missed that first part, then you heard lobby and you now want to listen for the answer. It doesn't work that way. I said in my first video when I did the intro of listening that you need 100% attention. If it becomes 91, you will miss basic information that will help you to get the answer. I hope that answers it. So our answer is what? Option C. So in your answer sheet, what you will write is C, not a video about the festival. If you write that, you will be wrong. The second one, the question now says George wants to sit at the back so they can. What's the answer? You see that the friend suggested that they should sit at the front so that they will do what? Have a good view. Talking about paraphrasing, have a good view. What does having a good view means? It means seeing well, right? But that is not the answer. That was her own reason. But George, they're asking us what George said and why he wants to sit at the back. So if you listened well, you will hear when George said, if you sit at the back, you will hear the whole thing clearly. So you will hear clearly. That makes option B our answer. So remember, they already mentioned seeing well, good view. So if you didn't pay attention to know that, okay, the question is asking for George and sitting at the back, not the front, you will do what? Get it wrong. For question 1 rather, the answer is option C. And for question 2, the answer is option B. Remember, you write the letter. The question even says it. Choose the correct letter, A, B, or C. That's your instruction. That tells you should write A, B, or C, and not the answer as a word or sentence. Guys, welcome back. How was it? Did you find the video helpful? Did it really help? This is a clinic and I will definitely be coming with examples, and let me know how this video has helped you. I believe that all the tips and strategies I gave, that you can see them playing out. Really, IELTS, one thing they do is to trick you. It's a test. Yes, so they really want to test you about all these things, so you can see, like, as we keep progressing and as I keep giving examples, I believe that it will be reinforcing some of the points I said in my previous video when I did the intro. Please, if you've not seen that video, just go and check it out, and we'll keep giving examples. So today we just handled multiple choice questions only, of course, and we looked at the normal multiple choice questions and then the list selection option, which is the most difficult. So with this, I believe you can go ahead and practice. Go ahead and listen attentively. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I believe this clinic has been helpful. Watch out for the next video coming again next Friday. So till I see you in my next video, remain intentional, and don't forget, please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. Please, if you've not done that, please click that red subscribe button now. Just do it now. Yeah, all right. So also, when you do, give this video a thumb up if you like it. Like this video. Also leave a comment. Encourage your girl in the comment section. And until I see you in my next video, remain blessed, stay intentional, and take care of yourself. Bye.